What's up guys, Balmont here. So tonight, we are going to be talking about a very special release within the Castlevania franchise. Yes, I'm talking about Castlevania Chronicles, which is not to be mistaken with Castlevania X Chronicles, which I covered yesterday night in 2K for you, and that video is doing really well, so go give it a watch once we're done here. But getting back to Castlevania Chronicles, this is actually, it's a little bit of a oddball of a title, because at the same time that this is an enhanced port of a Japanese exclusive Castlevania game for the Sharp X6800, and yes, this does sound like the terminology for a very early Terminator model, but I hope it wasn't. It also brought us an arranged mode, because trust me, the original game was hard as a motherfucker. There were other changes like Simon Belmont's demeanor, now he looks all stylish thanks to Ayami Kojima's beautiful artwork. I don't think I've ever seen one of that woman's drawings that actually suck. No, they're all stellar. But tonight we are going to be focusing on the enhanced port of the original X6800 game. Yep, I'm pretty sure that is an early model of a Terminator. Someone find it and destroy it, please. And listen, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, this just might be the prettiest 2D Castlevania game I've ever played in my life. Every stage has been done with so much care, so much attention to detail. The colors are vibrant, you're gonna see a lot of different things throughout this video, and the main reason why I'm bringing the graphical side of this game first and foremost is because I want you to pay attention to what you're seeing on screen. Really, this game just looks ridiculous, and I actually went back and watched footage from the original game running on an X blah 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 blah, and it's also very beautiful in its original version too, so make sure to go and check it out once we're done. For the sake of novelty, for the sake of curiosity, it's worth it. Absolutely everything, and I mean everything in this game looks absolutely beautiful, from a simple bat sprite to that very peculiar boss battle atop of a clock tower where you will be facing a were-woman. I never knew this was a thing, but Castlevania has now shown us that it actually is. I just love when games captivate me on every single front. The gameplay is on point. The soundtrack, which I'm gonna get to in a very short moment, I believe it's one of the best I've ever heard in any video game. The graphics are beautiful. The enemies are engaging, it's instigating, you want to see what's going to come next, you want to see what's the next stage going to be, and by the way, this game has 24 stages. However, if you're thinking that this is too much, that's just because it doesn't follow that standard Classicvania subdivision, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, and things like that. So, overall, you're getting like 8 stages with maybe 3 or 4 subdivisions, something like that. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the game's difficulty, okay? And remember, we are talking about the part of the original game, not its arranged version, which will come in a future video. You see, in this part, according to Iga himself, several improvements have been made, and they are quality of life improvements. For example, now you can switch directions while jumping, and you can see that Simon moves a little bit faster, everything flows a lot better. So in the end, what we get in this version of the game is actually an improved experience of the classic game, but again, it still doesn't help save face, not entirely at least. And what I mean by that is, up to a certain point, this game has a very balanced difficulty progression. I wasn't expecting to have this pleasant surprise. However, once you're about halfway through the game, then push is gonna come to shove, and I don't mean that in a natural difficulty progression. You're gonna start seeing some really cheap stuff here that's just there to make you play the game for longer. And to me, this type of cheap design has never had anything to do with actual skill. Of course, you're gonna need, this is gonna sound a little bit weird, but bear with me, you are going to need a lot of skill to beat certain areas, but when challenge is presented itself in a very artificial manner, then it loses purpose. This isn't really challenging, this is cheap. So in the end, it's a mixed bag that makes us think, well, this game could be a lot better, could be a lot more entertaining if it weren't for those cheap moments. And that is what I suppose the arranged version is for, because from what I've read around, what I've heard from other players, there's been a lot of rebalancing. This game seems a lot more fair. And again, we are going to get to this part. We will be playing the arranged mode. I'm going to lay it all out for you, so make sure to go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe right now so you don't miss this video when it comes out. And also, if you'd like to support our channel in a more direct manner, then consider joining our members club. There's a lot of good backstage stuff I'm always willing to share with you guys. And now I'd like to bring your attention to this game's strongest suit. Yes, even more so than the graphical side, which is absolutely stunning. The soundtrack. This game has some of the best renditions of classic Castlevania themes we've all grown to love so much. Really, so much that there's even a sound test mode. And here's a little bit of a fun fact. When I was younger, I was maybe like 13 or 14 years old, and I see this in games and I think, well, this is a waste of time. Well, fast forward some 24 years, and now I'm a sucker for this kind of thing. Oh, the irony of life. And really, if you do play this game, which you totally should, don't let its negative sides that I've pointed out discourage you from playing this. Then the soundtrack is gonna amp up your resolve to 300%. It's absolutely amazing. If you do have a powerful sound system or an amazing headphone, because, let's be honest, the sound on televisions is subpar at best. Television companies, they just don't give a shit about audio quality. Then, either go for the sound test mode or open YouTube and listen to this game's soundtrack, because you are gonna be blown away. Literally, as I scripted this, as I edited this video, I kept listening to certain songs on repeat, and my favorite song, even though it changes with the weather, if you come at me and ask me, hey, Belmont, what's your favorite Castlevania song? I could give you a different response, but, oftentimes I think as Tower of Dolls as being the greatest song in the entire Castlevania franchise. Let me know your favorite ones, and I'm asking as a musician, okay? I really want to know what makes you tick in terms of soundtrack, because if there's one thing that Castlevania has always presented us, no matter how dubious the quality of certain entries in the series, and yes, I'm looking at you, Castlevania 64, was an amazing soundtrack, and you can bet that this game delivers. Now, I've also played around a little bit with the arrange mode, and the soundtrack, every single song has been rearranged, and in my opinion, they lean too heavily on synthesizers. So some of the songs, they got way too airy, they lost a lot of punch, and that's a real shame. There are some really good elements in there. I can tell this, I can identify this as a musician and composer. But yeah, man, if you want to know my personal opinion, the classic tracks are where it's at. So that was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for tomorrow night's video, which always airs somewhere around at 8:30 p.m. EST. Take good care of yourself, your family, friends, pets, loved ones, and I'll see you next time. Belmont out.